So bank switching is back for 2023. After a few weeks with only one deal available from First Direct, Lloyds have now got in on the action and they are offering £200 until the 20th of March 2023 if you switch into some of their accounts. And important to say that some of their accounts because there is a very, very popular account which is excluded. So in this video, I'll just take you through what ones you can get this offer with and how you go about it and how you can avoid some fees that can come with those accounts. Potentially, at its worst, you might have to pay £10, but you'll still be 190 quid up. But I think you might be able to avoid paying anything at all. So let's have a look, shall we, at the Lloyds website, and I'll take you through what the offers are. So let's say £200 in 10 working days. It's one of the fastest switching deals out there because the fastest a bank switch can happen is 7 working days, and then they'll pay you 3 days after that. So you're looking around maybe just under 2 weeks before you'll get your cash. Pretty fast. I said it ends on the 20th of March 2023. Right, here are the accounts included in the switch. The Lloyds Silver account, the Club Lloyds Silver account, the Lloyds Platinum account, and the Club Lloyds Platinum account. I'll talk about more of those in a moment. But as you'll see here on the other side of the screen, the ones where they're not part of the switching deal, the Classic, which they're free everyday banking, that's pretty normal. Normally you have to go for one of the kind of like the fancier accounts. So I wouldn't be surprised about that. But the Club Lloyds account, that is excluded. This isn't the first time it's been excluded. A similar offer ran earlier last year, but then later that year they did do a switching deal with the Club Lloyds account. But there is a way around this if you have or want the Club Lloyds account, so don't let that put you off. Should also add actually this £200 switch, that is the most that Lloyds Bank has ever offered. Kind of following, I guess, on the heels of Nationwide and HSB last year offering 200 quid as well. So I think we are obviously getting to a point now where 175, 200 quid is going to be the norm for switching. Fingers crossed. I can't guarantee it, but I imagine that other banks are going to follow, again, keeping it around this amount. So let's have a look, shall we, at those accounts. I say you cannot get it on the Classic, you cannot get it on the Club Lloyds. You can get it on these ones. So why are these accounts chose over the Club Lloyds? What do you get with them? Well, the Silver account, this is £10 a month, okay? As I said, I'll come back to how I think you can avoid paying that completely, if that worse, just for 1 month. You get European multi-trip family travel insurance up to the age of 65. You get AA breakdown cover and you get mobile phone insurance, £10 a month. Now that might not be a bad deal, actually. It's a lot cheaper than other travel insurance packages and premium packages with banks because it is European. All the others do worldwide. So if this is something that you want, that is worth having a look and working out, will this be worth paying for? From my personal opinion, I don't bother with mobile phone insurance. We get our breakdown cover elsewhere. And if I go away on holiday, well, I probably can get travel insurance for less than a tenner. You never know. If you can't, and it's European and you want it for the whole year, then maybe this is great. But I personally think for me, this wouldn't work. But that's the first option. The alternative there, still silver, but is the Club Lloyds Silver. And this effectively still £10 a month, but you also get all those Club Lloyds benefits, which if you pay in £1,500 every single month, interestingly, it's important whether you're an existing or new Club Lloyds account holder, whether it's a normal Club Lloyds Silver, or the Club Lloyds Platinum we'll get to in a second. £1,500 a month, that will move to £2,000 a month from the 1st of April. Has to go into the account. Doesn't have to be in one go. Doesn't have to stay there. You could put in £500 4 times when you need £2,000 in there, and that would hit that criteria. And as a result, you would get to choose between 6 free cinema tickets a year, 12 movie rentals, or a magazine subscription. I think it's a great option to have the Club Lloyds account in some form, whether it's a silver account or on its own. But again, you can avoid the £3 fee that comes with Club Lloyds Silver as long as you pay in that money every single month. So we are talking here £10 a month for either the silver or the Club Lloyds Silver. The other option you can go for is the Platinum account. This is £21 every single month. So you're more than twice you'll be paying. But as a result, you also get worldwide multi-trip family travel insurance, the whole family for the whole world up to the age of 80. So there is a premium attached to all of those, which brings that price up a little bit. You also get slightly better AA breakdown cover and you get mobile phone insurance. Again, you might feel £21, that represents good value for you if you're going to use all of those. I would suggest if you do want one of these package bank accounts that you do, particularly with worldwide travel insurance, do have a look at what other banks are offering. I keep intending to do a video, an article on this. I will do it at some point, I promise you. But they are offered by most of the banks, and some of them are a fair bit cheaper. Broadly, the one, without having to go into a lot of detail on them, Nationwide's Flex Plus account, I think it's called, probably is cheaper. But again, you've got to compare the insurances like for like to see if you're happy with what you'll get, what cover you're getting. But personally, I wouldn't be looking at that £21 one. I'd be looking elsewhere. Again, you can get Club Lloyd's Platinum, so all those insurances plus the Club Lloyd benefits, as long as you pay in that £1,500 every single month from now, £2,000 a month from the 1st of April 2023. So they are your options. And what you need to do is either open up one of these accounts, upgrade to one of these accounts. So you've already got a Lloyds Bank account, a different Lloyds Bank account. You can upgrade to one of those accounts, or already have the account. Okay, so really important here. If you have no Lloyds accounts, open one up. If you already have some Lloyds accounts, you can open one up, okay? If you have a Lloyds account, you can upgrade. Instead of opening a new one, just move your account to that different option if you don't want multiple accounts. Or, as I say, if you already have it, then great. And then you need to switch into that account. However you've got it, you need to switch into it using the current account switching service. And that is something when you do your application, right at the end of it, or even after you've opened it, you can set up that switch separately if you want to. You will move from another bank all the way over, and that bank will close down. Now, I've got a whole video looking about how switching works. If you're new to it, do check that out. That takes you through that in more detail. But the really important thing to know about this when you do switch is the old account will close completely. So you might not want to switch away from an account that you've had for a long time. You might want to switch away from an account that has other benefits, in which case you might want to set up a dummy account if you haven't already got one of those. Again, a whole video taking you through the best ones to go for there, which you can open up, hopefully, with no credit check, and then switch those across. The only banks you can't switch to Lloyds from are banks that aren't part of the current account switching service. Most of the big banks are part of it. The ones that kind of you might have accounts with, which will rule you out, are Monese and Revolut, and also Chase. So if you've got them and don't want them, you cannot switch those across, unfortunately. But also you can't switch from another Lloyds current account. Okay, so you have to have a bank account at a different bank. Halifax is included in this. I've had a few people ask me whether that's the case because they're part of the group, same group, Halifax and Lloyds, but that's fine. If you've got a Halifax account you don't want, or a dummy account with them, you can switch that over to Lloyds and get this money. The only other criteria, though, in this switching deal, which is really, really, really vital, and you have to obviously meet this criteria to get the money, is you cannot have had any switching money from Lloyds Bank since April 2020. Okay? If you had money before that from Lloyds, then you can take advantage of this. In fact, their first bank switching deal, I think, was around 2019. So if you're in that first tranche of people, then you might be able to, and before April 2020, then knock yourself out, go for this offer. I was hoping that they would push that forward a year, but they haven't done that. Maybe that will happen later this year, maybe next year. Often the banks do push it along, but it's staying exactly where it was, same as it was last year, April 2020 as the cutoff. Now do all of that, and I said you'll get that money, that £200 paid into your account in 10 working days. But there's that fee. Whichever account you've gone for, whether you've gone for the silver account, which is the one that I would suggest you go for, or the platinum account, you've either got a £10 or £21 fee that's going to come out of your account every single month for as long as you have this account. But you do not need to keep this account. Once you've got this money, you potentially could just close the account. What personally I would do is I would downgrade it. And actually you can do this really quickly and simply in the app if you've got that, or you could phone them up or do it on your online banking or go into branch. I'm sure there's different ways of doing it. But once you've got that money in that 10 working days, maybe longer if you set your switch date a bit further away, but potentially in 10 working days, you've got your money, go in, downgrade it. I would downgrade it either to the Club Lloyds account, because as I said before, I think the benefits there are pretty decent, or I would downgrade it to the classic account. You might already have a Club Lloyds account, so you can't downgrade it to that because you can't have more than one Club Lloyds account. But when you downgrade it to either of those options, you no longer will be paying the fee. And but depending when you do this, and I think there may well be an end of a month thing that kind of gets in the way. I don't know for certain on this. But you will either not get charged the fee. That will happen to me when I did this a while ago. I didn't get charged anything. I thought I was going to get charged 1 month, didn't get any charge. Or you might have it prorated down depending on how many days there are left in the month. Or if you've gone for the silver account or the Club Lloyds silver account, at worst, you're going to get charged £10. So I think it's worth doing it. And even if, as long as you remember to do it at some point, even if you get charged 10 quid, hopefully you won't, but even if you do, you're still up 190 quid, if not 200 quid. Really, really great way of doing this. And as I say, I would recommend you do go down to that Club Lloyds account. Just remember, as I talked about before, that does have a £3 fee every single month as well, an extra fee on top, but this is easily avoided. You just need to pay in that £1,500 every single month, moving up to £2,000 from the 1st of April 2023. And incidentally, if you already have a Club Lloyds current account, that will also take place. That change will also take place for your existing account. So make sure you move around your standing orders or whatever you've got set up to make sure that happens, because you don't want to get charged that, because that wipes out a lot of the benefits. So there you go. That's the first bank switching deal of 2023. If you do want more information on it, I have written about it at length over on becleveryourcash.com. That's my blog. As you can see here, here's all the information, basically everything I've just spoken about just now. You'll find all the information there, and then we'll go quick summary as well. And any other new deals that come along, I write about them over on the blog as well, and I will tell you about them here on the channel as well. My name is Andy Webb. Thank you so much for watching. Check out these videos here for more ways to make money from your bank.